Hello and welcome to the Pulp Media Podcast with your hosts Sam Cox, Sean McGrow, Matt Denyer and myself, Richard Langley. Today we're going to be talking about game to movie adaptations. And before we jump into that, how are you fucking doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Yeah, pretty bloody good actually.
Just got a fucker. So you're still here, Matt?
Yes, I'm still bloody here.
Hang on,
Clinging on.
before we start slating Matt, I need to make an apology for last week. Unfortunately, I got a name of an actress wrong. I said it was...
You fucker.
I know. I said it was Amy McAdams. It was Rachel McAdams, and we were talking about the cast of Mean Girls or Mean Chicks.
To be fair, that whole thing was a clusterfuck. Rich called it Mean Chicks. Sean thought it was Lucy Liu, and you called it Amy McAdams.
I corrected myself during the cast.
And let Sam finish his apology. All right, he apologises to Amy/Rachel McAdams.
I'm sorry, Rachel McAdams. If you can hear this, I'm sorry.
Now back to ripping Matt.
You will not replace me with a Kindle Fire.
Well, we got the GoFundMe page up and running. If you look in the description, folks, you can help us out. Anything you can spare would be greatly appreciated because we're desperate here. We are desperate.
if we can reach enough money to get a Kindle Fire, that would be an improvement.
Not even a Kindle Fire, just an Etch-a-Sketch would do.
You fuckers, you sit in my house, you drink my coffee, you eat my food.
It's got more processing power.
Okay, no, we've got to be fair to Matt. He does provide a lot of coffee, and today, Haribo.
Yeah, and he's the only one who can jump an 8-foot fence. So, you know.
And he can jump an 8-foot fence.
Actually, we still didn't make this a YouTube video.
I measured the
We
fence
have
in my
to do
parents'
that.
garden 7.2 feet. So
Actually,
I'm
he
not quite
did.
there, but
Yeah, you really did.
Practice makes perfect.
yeah, I got to start somewhere. I didn't say I could do it straight
How
off the way.
fucking dumb would we feel if we set up a video to watch him do it and fail and he did it?
I would be
Stupid
gobsmacked.
would
In my head, it's like Shaun of the Dead. I will just barrel straight through the fucking fence. Like.
Wait, so you're the fat guy and Sean.
Never taken a shortcut before.
So what have we been up to?
Yeah, I saw The Mummy.
Oh, go
Tom
on.
Cruise one, right?
Tom
The new
Cruise one.
yeah.
Really good. Really enjoyed it. It's getting shit reviews lately, but
I heard it got bad.
It's getting mixed reviews, and I can see why it is, but at the same time, there's still enough there. It's just for a good film, and I liked all the aspects of it. I'm actually excited now for the new Universal Dark.
Yeah,
Dark Universe.
Dark Universe.
Elaborate on that a little, because I know it's meant to have obviously the Mummy.
Yeah, it's all the
Jekyll and
the
Hyde,
old
It's
Universal
basically like a
monsters.
rebranding, isn't it? It's going
they're
rebranding,
doing
but
the
going back
Marvel
to the old
thing.
fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing the Marvel thing. Everyone needs a universe.
I'm not doing the Marvel thing. Actually, I am.
Yeah,
Funny
exactly.
enough.
Yeah.
But
But
I didn't even know it.
it was a good film, and it's got a lot of obviously nods to the old traditional ones, because I was walking into it thinking it's going to be like a Brendan Fraser Mummy or like Van Helsing, where it was just bullshit. But it was actually it was grounded,
I like both
gritty.
of those films, actually.
Like what?
I like both of those films. So.
Yeah, they were right, but they weren't. This one had the right horror elements. I think it was a bit too much action based. Tom Cruise's character was just not likable whatsoever.
Does that mean he played the character well though? Like, is he supposed to be?
I think,
Not-
yeah.
is
I
he
mean, it was
supposed
the
to be a
way the
dick?
character
Right.
was written,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is just.
It was
and
not
it's
Tom
basically
Cruise.
It's not just
wrote-
your general disdain for Tom Cruise.
No.
like-
It was just he just played a piece of shit character, and that's all you really got from it. He was just a piece of shit.
yeah.
But yeah, besides that, Russell Crowe was really good. I was quite surprised about that. They did Jekyll and Hyde really well, and I'm actually quite excited about the new one.
I was so like, we used to Jekyll and Hyde.
Because that's
what
what
I
I
thought.
thought.
Russell Crowe.
I just thought it was
I
so
know.
unnecessary when it was like, oh, and Russell Crowe's going to be Dr. Jekyll, and they're all going to tie into each other. I thought, fuck off. And then when he came on screen, it was just this smarmy face, and it was like, oh, you. And I didn't think they were going to do anything besides just reference him, but then he actually changes, and he has a fight scene with Tom Cruise, and I fucking loved it.
But is it?
So do we think that Russell Crowe is going to be the Iron Man of the Universal shared universe?
No.
Where he's
Well,
just
he
popping
plays
into
he
everybody's
plays this
films,
monster collector,
slapping
and
his dick around.
there are so many nods to all the other ones, like Creature from the Black Lagoon and Dracula and everything, and it's just so.
They're going to do
It's-
is
it-
it going to be
it
the same
gave me a
director or
right
different
throbber on.
directors?
Oh, different directors.
Oh, good,
Different directors.
good.
What do we actually know about the shared universe at the minute? Because obviously these are characters from a very different time period. We're talking like late 20th century.
20th century. Yeah, it was like the 30s.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, all that they've really kind of released, details wise, is that Johnny Depp's going to be the Invisible Man, which I don't know how I feel about that, because that's my favourite one out of the lot.
No, I can see that being really good.
Javier Bardem.
Yep. Yeah.
He's going to be Frankenstein's monster.
Well done for saying
That'd
that
be
right
good.
as well.
Yeah.
I know, I called him Javier last time.
Javier.
I think it was after
Javier.
you corrected me last time.
Javier.
And Russell Crowe's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I think that
But that's all
sounds
they've
really
released so far. And if this has anything to go by, I think I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah. Besides that, saw Hans Zimmer, best show ever.
Good. Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm so jealous of that. I think
Yeah.
that would just be an amazing thing.
Did,
to
he,
watch. Like,
did he play the Metal Gear Solid theme?
No.
Richard's that
No.
down there.
But he did the
I-
classics. He did the Pirates theme. He did the Dark Knight soundtrack, Inception soundtrack, Batman, Superman. The Wonder Woman theme tune was fucking amazing.
Did he have like? I know it sounds weird, but I pictured it to be like laser light show, like 80s, not quite young.
No, it wasn't
but
that cheesy. I mean, he had a screen with like obviously images put up and everything, but the main focus was obviously all the orchestra and the choir.
Yeah.
It was decked out to the fucking nines.
Can I step? Have you seen Wonder Woman yet?
Yeah,
You have, haven't you?
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of really great reviews.
Yeah,
And then some really not so great reviews. But they're kind of lauding it. What annoyed me was that, especially all over Facebook, I don't know if you've been on Facebook recently, but they're lauding it as like the first great, strong female
Woman's-
protagonist. I was like,
yeah.
Ripley, fuck off.
superhero wise,
Yeah.
the new
Yeah,
age of
yeah.
superhero films. And
Yeah.
she is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do that another episode.
Yeah,
DC
we'll
Marvel.
catch up.
Well, I watched Split.
The M. Night Shyamalan
Yeah.
one,
Which I
right?
know you've seen, Sean. You
Yeah.
talk about a lot. Really conflicted about it because I liked a good chunk of it. It's only the end bit, which obviously anyone who's seen it will know about.
Which is bringing me back to when I said everyone's doing a universe,
Yeah.
because that ties into his Shyamalama universe. Or Shyamalan.
We will
I
never
don't know.
learn to
Yeah,
say
we
that
always
name.
we don't know how to say that.
I thought
name.
it was Shyamalan. I might be way off.
Well, whatever his name
Answers
is.
on a postcard for that one, listeners. We'll
Yeah.
take it. Just write it down phonetically and we'll give it a crack.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, at the end of the film, there is a cameo by everyone's favourite, Bruce Willis, who reprises his role from a previous Shyamalan film,
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, hinting at a potential sequel.
I don't know what I don't even know
Yeah.
what it's trying to reference, because I mean, a Unbreakable sequel has been on the cards for quite some time,
Yeah.
and everyone's been wanting it. So I don't know if it's just
But did it feel really shoehorned into you? Because it
Really
felt
fucking
super
shoehorned.
in.
really shoehorned.
And up until that point, the whole film was like a psychological horror, not supernatural, like a suspenseful thriller, right? And it was always hinting at a potential supernatural twist. And I thought that was going to be the big twist. The big twist was, again, spoiler alert, it was going to turn out that no, he really is 23 different people, and the Beast comes out at the end, and everyone kills everybody, and it's a big surprise, and that's a twist. Because they play it very like, is he just a guy with a mental disorder or mental health problems, or is he actually 23 people in the same body? I was really let down by the actual the Beast itself. Didn't fucking bother me at all, because the way they sold it was like it was this huge.
Yeah, he was
I
going to
feel like I
turn
won't need
into
to watch
something.
this film now because you
With
just
these
described the
long-
whole thing
Yeah.
by scene for me, so I don't.
I'll save you some heartache
Killed.
because it's really, even the way it was shot. There's whenever the two characters are talking, they actually have the camera panned really close up to their face, so you get that nervous impression like they're invading your space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, claustrophobic. Almost.
Yeah, and it's really effective. A lot of it's really great, and I was just really upset at the end with the Beast itself. The ending, that whole ending, actually bugged me. If I'm honest.
I don't really see that as the end. I just when the film ended, where he's on the news and then he just runs off. I think that Bruce Willis bit, I don't even count that as the film.
Yeah.
See, this is where I think my film choice of the week was just simple and easy. It's like you recommended to me Premium Rush.
Yeah, had that.
Yeah, like really, really, really straightforward. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's a bike messenger in New York, somehow gets sucked into some sort of underground mishap, as it were. There's a corrupt policeman that needs something he's got hold of and that he's delivering as a bike messenger. And it just literally, it hits the ground running. It's 90 minutes of just pure, full-on, fast-paced
crime.
it is really, really stupid. But, there's, fast bike rides and it's got some, like, it sounds...
all the motorists behind him just bibbing.
Yeah.
Actually,
Ain't that fast, mate?
because I mean, going around New York, the bikes probably move faster. Than
Yeah,
the
because of the
cars.
traffic. But no, it's fast paced. It's not overthought. It's quite simple. It's just it's just a feel good fun film.
It is.
Like, there's nothing too overly
And
complicated.
it's
about it.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
Yeah, Joseph
Yeah.
Gordon-Levitt.
Love that guy.
Michael Shannon actually plays the cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
He's brilliant. Like, because he's a really abstract character, and he has like mental tangents, and you're like, a lot of the time it feels like that he wasn't given a
always
script.
plays
It was
those-
just ad hoc. And
Yeah,
he was
he
like,
always plays
yeah, fuck
those
it, I can
types
go
of
with that.
I didn't even notice that.
It really, yeah.
I didn't even notice that until you mentioned it. But some of the lines he comes out with, you just think, what is he like? He's like a fucking nutcase.
He basically looks like schizophrenic, man. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, it's one of those films. 90 minutes, just watch it. You'll understand what I mean. It's
I'll
just,
give it a go if Michael Shannon's in it.
yeah,
It is, yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's.
What about you, Sam? What you watched?
Reading any books? Reading any books?
Actually, I
Any
did,
comic
actually.
books? No, you wouldn't, would you? You bigot.
No, I don't know. I actually read something with perfectly formed words. Not
Yeah, did it have a bubble around it? No, I didn't think so.
no. The cover was colourful.
What was it?
It's
Hungry
actually
Caterpillar.
Kung Fu Panda.
I said the Hungry Caterpillar. I don't know where the fuck you got Kung Fu Panda from.
I think we were just all talking at once, and it kind of got lost in the ether
So,
there.
Sam, just tell me, cut the suspense. What did you read?
It's actually a book called To Rise Again at a Decent Hour. It's a pretty lengthy title for.
Oh, that's about impotence.
no.
And
It was a self-help book.
Yeah,
I think
ironically, it's a pop-up book.
I think you just like illuminated something. Maybe yourself. You know what you want to say?
Mate, you get so much as an inch to my bumhole, and it's pointing full mast, mate. Full mast.
Okay.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
No, the book is actually it's actually really strange. It's about a guy who he wants to be part of like a family because it turns out it's not a spoiler, but his dad killed himself when he was younger, and he finds himself he wants to be part of like a family because his family is quite disrupted and all this sort of stuff.
Wants to be where the people are.
No, he actually does. Like
He wants to see him dancing.
No, the thing is, it's a bit of a weird angle though because he's like an atheist who originally tries to fit in with like a Catholic family. And then he tries to fit in with a Jewish family, but he just finds himself really awkward.
He just wants to fit in.
And he's a dentist, and it's a really strange book because it actually starts with him getting a Facebook profile that he didn't put up, and it turns out it's actually someone from a group that he is somehow genealogically related to, because it's actually got a really good twist on history. 'Cause it's saying history is always written by certain factions, like the Christians fought the Jews and the Jews fought the Arabs, and it's actually talking about like an unknown history of the disbelievers, like people that always questioned, like in the background but never written about, and it turns out he's linked to these people.
You've gone from
It's
the
a
simplicity
Sounds
of
really interesting.
No, it actually is. They're called the Ulms. It's a ULMS. And it turns out there's a whole genealogy of them. And the whole time he never feels like he
Is
fits
this
in.
a fictional group? or is this-
I'm not actually sure. I need to look into it because it's actually got a lot of.
Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, no. It's got a lot.
Dun, dun.
But it turns out it's actually got like a lot of biblical history. I need to look into it because I want to find out if it's actually a thing.
What's this book called?
To Rise Again at a Decent Hour by Joshua Ferris. It's actually longlisted for the Man Booker Prize in I think 2007 or something.
I'll see if they've adapted it to.
Apart from that, I listened to the podcast S-Town. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it's done by the same people that did Serial, which is like the most popular podcast.
Okay.
S-Town was actually absolutely fucking brilliant.
I think you
nearly
might
cried.
have,
I nearly cried.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
But don't listen to that podcast. Karen listens to this podcast.
Yeah, listen to this one.
This is the more,
much better.
this is better than Serial.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think now we've covered that, we should move on to our topic of the day, our segment we like to call. So today we're going to be covering game to movie adaptations. So if you lovely gentlemen don't mind, can I thrust
Dive in.
myself
Yeah,
into it?
go
Yeah.
straight in.
Put your thing
Go in
where it needs
dry.
to go.
That's fine. Yeah.
Seeing as you're at full mast.
I'll ram it home. Constantly
Something to do with
full
bumhole
mast.
again.
Yeah. No, Silent Hill. I'm sure you're all familiar with it.
Nope.
You've seen
Brilliant
it.
adaptation.
I
Really
love
enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of the games. Well, first four anyway. And the first film, I think, was Christopher Gans who directed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was one of those films that stuck to the source material, knew what it was. That was the key part. It knew what it was.
Yeah.
and it didn't try to get too silly, too goofy. There's a couple of mishaps with the acting,
You're
some
always-
dodgy accents.
You're always going to have bad acting in these types of films.
Mm.
It's just a given. I've taken it as it is always going to be a given. It's a
but that's
staple trait.
Anything video game related, especially with horror, will have look at Resident Evil 1. No, don't open that door.
The thing is, even with horror, I don't think it's even just contained to game to film adaptations. Horror in general just
I'm
has
getting all the
bad
flashbacks.
acting.
I mean, a lot of horror.
Blood. This looks like Chris's blood.
Does that just say that?
There's a line in the first book. Barry hands Jill
Oh my
a lockpick, and he goes,
God.
"Oh, I better give this to you, seeing as you're the master of unlocking."
That's just too many explanations in everything,
Oh
isn't
my
there?
God.
Everybody's favourite. In the first game, if you take the broken shotgun and you don't put you take the shotgun, you don't put the broken shotgun in its place. The ceiling, it's like a trap.
So it's low.
Yeah, I remember
Come
that.
down.
Yeah.
And if you play as Jill, Barry will come in at the last minute. He'll kick the fucking door in like a He-Man, rescue her, and he'll say, "Oh, you were almost a Jill sandwich."
Oh my God.
I mean, what have they really got to work with there?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, the film wasn't exactly going to be any better with that dialogue.
They could
Beautiful
have
one,
spent a lot more time writing a dialogue.
Considering the millions of pounds they had on budget, a good script writer
I
would
think most
probably
of it
be
they
one
spent
of
on
them.
like Marilyn Manson writing the score for it.
Yeah, I want to make a film and I want to deeply root it in 2000s new metal.
We're saying about the voice acting and everything, which I completely agree, especially in the early, the early days of the survival horror genre. I mean, Silent Hill 2, they weren't great voice acting.
No.
But Silent Hill 2, man, that game was amazingly written.
Yeah.
Really deep, really high concept.
Yeah.
I never played that.
It was just they took what was achieved with the first game, the locale, the lore behind it, and they kind of made it a bit of a, because it's based on the original
Jacob's Ladder,
game was based on Jacob's Ladder with
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, that's it.
Yeah.
Never saw that film.
Amazing, dude. How have you not seen
Scary
that?
as shit.
I don't know. I remember as a
Yeah,
kid,
definitely.
like we always had it on, or my parents always had it on the shelf, and I always remember seeing Jacob's Ladder on there. And I don't know. I always remember the cover of it on VHS, but I never actually got around to watching it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's very, very, very Silent Hill. Because obviously you've played the game before
Yes.
you saw the film.
Yeah.
Then you go and see the film, you're like, holy shit, this is just like Silent Hill, and it really is, because you're never sure what the fuck is going on in that film. But
I still think that was quite a good adaptation. Like the Silent Hill game to the film.
the first game,
that was quite a successful
'Cause
adaptation.
I know we've talked about this, but the first scene when she first gets into town and she
it's
almost hits the
straight
kid,
out of.
it's exactly like the first.
And I don't think enough game to film adaptations do that. It's like, although, all right, you're making your film, you want to do your own thing, but to have even that one scene, which is just ripped straight from the game, it is such a nod of appreciation, and it's something that a gamer can relate so much to.
That's the thing. I mean, Matt does actually bring a really good point. I mean, because
Shut up.
I actually heard.
You heard it here first. Listeners.
I just want to say
saying.
he wasn't actually looking at Google when he made that point.
That was his own opinion.
No, but apparently I heard that Chris Gans asked the producers, like, I definitely want to direct this. I love this game so much that he actually liked the game to the point where he had to make the movie, and he actually used the original score from the game, and he just pushed it into the movie just to make it like an easy transition.
Matt, get on your Google machine, your interwebs, and type in Team Silent and music director. I think it's Akira something.
Akira Yakamoto, I want to say, but I will check.
He was the sound director. He done all the music and everything.
Yeah.
He is fucking amazing. Even his standalone stuff. But the score to Silent Hill is probably one of the best. If not,
Yamaoka, sorry.
Yeah,
Akira
that's it.
Yamaoka. I knew it was
Yamaoka.
Yamaoka.
Yeah, but hands down the best music at least in my honest opinion, to a video game ever. It is so phenomenally good, and it complements. Sometimes you have soundtracks that are so good that they detract from the game itself, the whole movie. But this is such a great. It creates that horrible, dread, eerie, what the fuck is going on feel. And I love it to bits.
Going back to what you said about the director saying, I must make this film. I'm a big fan of the games. There's not enough of that in these adaptations, which is basically their main downfall. Is you get people that don't know the source material, and when you get people with that much passion and appreciation for that material, you get hits. I mean, this is what it's like with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. You know, he has such an appreciation for the character, and you know, has lobbied for it for so long, and he creates Deadpool, which is one of the
look at the
best,
result. It was great.
Yeah, and it was one of the best films ever, and well, not ever, but one of the best films of the year. And that type of appreciation is just, especially with the game.
Well, you were saying about, is it BioShock, where the director
Gore Verbinski was set to make it, and it was, I can't remember when it was announced. I did have it in my notes.
Oh,
but I can't remember what it was years ago. But yeah, he wanted to make it 18 or R-rated, and the studio, he wanted like 200 million to do it. And they were like, no, we can't take that much of a risk. You know, you need to do it PG-13. And he basically said, no, it's got to be what I want, or it's not going to happen. They said, well, it's not going to happen.
The way I feel about that is, it's kind of, again, I feel kind of conflicted, because if you're a studio and your job is to make a lot of money, make a lot of profit, small budget, a lot of profit.
Yeah.
You know, it is a risk.
Well, yeah,
because you're limiting your audience significantly.
But gamers, this is the thing. This is when BioShock came out, it was a hit. I mean, it made so much money, and it was such a critically acclaimed game. But again, gaming is such a niche still. You know,
I wouldn't say it's a niche still.
I still think it is. I think it is still perceived as something that's for kids. So when you get all these big, when people, I mean, it's like now. It's only recently like it's almost like TV series where they're getting bigger names attached to them.
Well, you've got pioneers like Hideo Kojima. I know I keep bringing his name up because I love the fucking guy. But look at Death Stranding, his upcoming game. He's got Mads Mikkelsen, Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, is that how you say his name? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Nice.
Del Toro. Just use Del Toro.
He's playing a role.
Fine,
He's playing a role in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he's not. You know, he's playing a role because he's friends with Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
And then you had obviously Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss in Phantom Pain. You know, it's really bridging that gap.
Yeah. Now it is. It's slowly getting there. You're getting the big names onto it, and you're getting, you know, like Del Toro's been linked to loads of games that have fallen through over the years.
Yeah, well, he had that. Was it Insane?
Yeah,
it was, and he lobbied for that, and then he got cancelled.
Yeah,
but then
PT happened again.
Look at it in regards to who are the bigger names, like from games to movies? The bigger names you've got. Doom had obviously Dwayne the Rock Johnson
and again,
in it.
It was something
he was only starting out, like you say. He was only starting out then, but the best part about that game, as you were saying, was when they did the first person scene.
Yeah,
right. And then,
because like as Sean said, it reminded you how great the game was.
Yeah. So that's so when you're doing a game to movie adaptation, sticking to the game is one of the key parts. That's where, like, Tomb Raider didn't really. It had elements of each game, but it didn't, like. I know it sounds weird, but when playing like Tomb Raider 2, for instance, everyone remembers you go to do like the Shaolin monk bit, and there's a T-Rex in there for some reason. I'm not saying you need that.
You know what? I think that film would have benefited from a T-Rex. I would have loved to see a T-Rex.
But what I'm saying is that essentially Tomb Raider was one of the first films that had a big name attached to it, wasn't it?
Hang on, like, are we forgetting Street Fighter? Jean-Claude
Van Damme.
spandex.
Yeah, but that didn't
Bob
really...
Hoskins was pretty big when he did Super Mario.
But
he just come off of
Street Fighter.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Street Fighter didn't make that much money. It wasn't hugely profitable in the game to film ratio. Yes, but on the grand scheme of things, no. Like Tomb Raider broke records, like Guinness records.
Did it?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like it was one of the most recognized games characters to be adapted into a film. It was on the Guinness record.
Bigger than Mario.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, it was one of those, and then
he does use his Google machine.
One of the other Guinness records, it broke because it was the highest grossing of its time, game to movie.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. Like that had the big name, it had everything, but it still missed the mark so badly.
Yeah,
for me, like
what really irks me about like both Tomb Raider movies is that they both ended in like a completely bizarre universe. Like, it just felt like there was a bit of structure, like, oh, there's an artifact here, and then they just go into, like, I mean, the first movie, they both go into, like, an alternate time-space reality, and they both just
What's wrong with that?
Side of a pyramid.
Hurtling up a pyramid, and you just think, would you just go
Dude,
into
I've
ultimate
done
reality?
it twice since we've been talking. What are you talking about?
You are like, you need to go for coffee, man.
I think the elephant in the room, and here we go, gamer fans, would be Resident Evil.
The bane of my life, the reason I can't poo without crying. That film.
The reason why there's blood in it when I do.
Blood in it. Honestly,
The games
that game
were
probably given me. It's unreal.
Even though I didn't play the games as much as Richard, I witnessed Richard playing it a lot. Let's just say that.
I made you watch me, yeah.
No, I think the listeners need to hear that when Resident Evil games were big back in the day, the first Resident Evil and the second Resident Evil.
Massive.
Myself and Matt would often sit on Richard's bed behind Richard in his chair playing the game. I mean, we literally spent about 12 hours
And when
a day
he died,
watching
we
him
weren't
play
allowed
the
a
game.
turn.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
He was like, no, it's personal now.
Hey, listen. I'm not a pad sharer.
No.
You all know this.
Like,
we tried
when
to
you got
wrestle it
these,
from him, but
when you got these nuts driving the car, you got to stay behind the wheel.
what
but
a weird
I
image.
think Resident Evil, again,
yeah.
the biggest actress in that being Mila Jovovich, so it didn't have like a big name actress. She's known for Fifth Element, and she's known for
was
modeling.
known enough.
You know.
You know?
Yeah, but she was still mid-level on the grand scheme of things. She's not like an A-list actress, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
she's no Lindsay Lohan. You know, she's no Lilo.
I was going to laugh. I just can't bring myself to do it.
I think
she's hot trash now, G.
Resident Evil, again, despite the fact it was to date the most successful game.
Do you know what the most?
Wait,
not to cut you off, but this is my baby, and I'm just going to say the most frustrating thing about that whole deal is that the films are so shit, but they have made so much money.
$1.233 billion.
Right. And that's why we keep getting it, because we are fucking idiots. We keep hoping the next one will be good. The next one will be... So we go and what do we do? We go and watch it. We give them the fucking money, and they go, "Oh, they must like this. We'll do more." And it's not representative. I don't know who's watching these films.
Well, yeah, because the reboot.
Sam. Me.
Sam, you prick.
No, I hate.
It's your fault.
No, it's like when you watch Independence Day Resurgent. It's terrible, but
Has
it's
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but
but not even he could have saved it.
But it's crap. But it's just entertainment. It's stuff you listen to in the background while you're doing your washing or something.
The worst thing about Resident
Hey, I'm domesticated.
the worst thing about Resident Evil, right? Okay, despite the last 5, 6, however many fucking films there are now, 6, however many films there are, they're rebooting it. And I guarantee everyone in this room.
Every time something ends violently, is that they'll just reboot it.
I guarantee everyone in this room will go and see it.
Yeah. I
Oh,
probably
we'll
would.
absolutely go and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go see it.
That's the stupid fucking
But
point.
the thing is, like,
isn't it?
and this is it. This is Resident Evil was traditionally a survival horror game.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, they sat down in the meeting room. It's like, oh, we'll just do action. Oh,
Well, no,
you get guns in the game. Let's just give them guns.
I'll
in
tell
the
you
movie.
exactly what it was. They remade the original Resident Evil as a remake, and it didn't sell anywhere near. Even though it is unanimously, everybody agrees it's one of the best, if not the best game in the series. It is fucking phenomenal.
Which one?
The one that came out on the GameCube.
The GameCube remake of the original.
Yeah, definitely.
That was awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
and they want to go down that route. That's how they would have gone, but it didn't sell anywhere near as much as they thought. So halfway through development of the next tile, Resident Evil 4, they completely switched gears and then done a more action-focused, over-the-shoulder, third-person. And then obviously you had the film franchise taking off, super big-budget action spectacle kind of film, you know, making bazillions of dollars, and they kind of played off each other, so the games become more action-heavy. And I could go on for fucking days about this, but yeah, it's just... It is what it is, and hopefully with this new reboot, I think James Wan is set to direct.
Yep. Yeah.
I know he's attached to it in some capacity, so hopefully it will be more horror focused.
Yeah, because
we'll get something good this time.
director, isn't he? So
Yeah.
But,
I think with game to movie franchises, the better films are almost like the middle budget, like the lower end films. Like I know Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Street Fighter and things like that. The budget on that wasn't massive for a film.
No, and a lot of the budget went on Van Damme.
Yeah, exactly.
And securing Van Damme and
his hair.
Raul
maintaining his
Yeah,
hair.
but it was a good film.
Yeah. I'm going to kick
I
Bison's
actually
ass.
enjoyed it. I mean, it got panned,
mod.
but
Yeah.
it's it managed to put all the characters in there. You know, so it might have been shoehorned from now and then, but you kind of tick all the boxes of who you want to see.
It was very campy.
It was very campy.
God, yeah.
It had some charm to it, at least, and it was just like, all right, it was a bit
So what you're
shit.
But the
saying
thing
is they should remake Street Fighter.
No, because I doing this prep and I said to Sam this before the cast, was like, we got to stop doing shit subjects because the prep is just soul destroying. And when I was doing prep, I watched Street Fighter, like the story of Chun-Li or something. Or Legend
I
of
never even
Chun-Li.
bothered.
There's no story.
Oh
it's
my
just boobs. That's all you
Fucking
need.
god, it was terrible.
It was just
And do
live
you know what?
action.
Do you know what the most painful thing about all that is that if you're, I don't know how familiar you are with the lore of Street Fighter, the whole Ryu, Ken, Akuma story arc with a dark, Dark Hado, I think it's called, like basically evil Ryu.
Yeah.
That's a really great little story arc there that I think would have made for a fantastic film.
See, they should make it
But
like.
can we just Street Fighter?
Jesus Christ.
Street Fighter 2, the anime movie, Chun-Li's boobs. There you
Yes,
go.
drawn anime boobs.
But you're just saying, like, Street Fighter. If, like,
The amount of times I paused that, you got no idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what.
That's like when you were playing Tomb Raider. You always. How many times did you try and get the nude cheek going?
Yeah, with
Was it in the film?
those
No.
square,
Right off.
slimy
Yes.
boobs.
wait. That was the closest thing we had to porn.
Yeah.
The most
Oh my god, they look so real.
the most obtuse boobs you'll ever see.
Pixelated square boobs.
You try and run her into a wall just to get that sound out of her. Or is that just me?
No, we didn't do that, Sam.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
normal. We would just look at.
He used to get the
Porn
monks
or
to
National
chase her around and
Geographic.
hit her with a stick. She's like, and then you give her a medikit. It's like, because she's
That's my whack.
You played this too much.
She's got masturbation issues.
Yeah.
No, I but again with the martial arts, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, those side of things. There's never going to be a storyline.
Well, that's the thing.
Is
That's
there?
why
It's
I'm just baffled the fact that most games movie adaptations are fight games, and fight games just don't have any story whatsoever. Anyway, it's literally just player v player.
And that's why you need the boobs.
Well, actually, I'll correct you there. There's actually a gem of a
Dead or Alive.
game to movie adaptation. Nope, and you've all forgotten it. The absolutely fantastic and everybody's favourite Max Payne.
Oh, Max Payne. Marky
Okay, no,
Mark.
wait. I have to say this.
An adaptation
Marky
that
Mark.
sounds like it should have been really good on the surface. Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Max Payne.
Marilyn Manson doing another.
Was he doing it again?
Well, he didn't do the score, but his song was in it. They used his
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, as
should
the
have been
base for it.
amazing, and it was trash.
The thing is,
Hot
But the
trash.
cinematography in it was amazing.
Yeah, the cinematography was pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't save it. It doesn't save it.
No. Yeah, that's.
You're saying that, like, there's no storyline to the like Street Fighter. There's no Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat, but they came out in the 90s, and everyone had such a hard on for kung fu martial arts movies.
I just think like nowadays, like because with Mortal Kombat, I don't know if you've seen the Mortal Kombat Legacy. It's on YouTube. They're like 10 minutes a piece, but they're so gritty and more. There's more sense of realism in there. If they actually did those types of films nowadays properly, especially when you got films like The Raid and shit like that, the fight scenes that they could do would be phenomenal.
I still think if they did like Street Fighter, like you say, with the backstories of everyone as like a Netflix miniseries, that'd be cool because you do like
that's actually
Ken
a
and
good idea.
Ryu's story, and
Yeah.
then everyone like comes together at the end because the whole point of Street Fighter was that they're all in different districts and they're all fighting, and then
from like different countries.
the
and stuff.
champion from each area and all
It's
that
basically
comes
Bloodsport,
together.
let's
Yeah,
be
yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. Kick the doors off a fucking car, man.
Let's kick.
Kickboxer.
That's kickboxer.
A 65 caddy. Or
I used to be able to kick the doors of a 65 caddy. Now look at them. They're dead. They're worthless.
I think it's about time that we have to mention it.
What?
Oh, here we go.
Mario.
Oh,
we didn't
no
have
one
to mention
cares.
You can't do a game to movie adaptation conversation and not bring up Mario.
Why was Luigi so much younger than Mario?
They're brothers,
Age
aren't they?
difference.
Yeah.
It was probably some kind of an affair on the mother's part.
I think you're reading too much. I think you're reading too much into it. Two Italian plumbers in some dodgy area.
The
Like.
thing is, like, he's got.
It's like a bad. I have the feeling that's racist on so many levels, but I can't explain why.
Sure.
But as a plumber and having the title of, a plumber,
Yeah. Doesn't plumb a
he doesn't
single
actually.
thing.
Well, he doesn't plumb a thing in the game, but in the film, he's not actually that good at it because his rent's 3 months due. He's got nothing to eat, and he's scrambling for work. It's like, mate, you've got one job.
I'm
You
sure
need
there's a
another
pizza joke in there
profession.
somewhere.
A pizza joke.
Pizza joke.
Because
it's
How
No, like-
original.
I mean, who again?
Bring on the Kindle.
Fuck off, right? Who was like the most major actor in that film?
Bob Hoskins.
Okay, and then
And Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Oh, well, they were both. I'd probably say they were on par.
I need
with
Because
each other.
Bob Hoskins was coming off of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
and
but Dennis Hopper had that
was-
cool dude, didn't he? Remember the cool dude?
what?
Cool dude.
Cool
oh, yeah,
head.
the cool.
Oh,
yeah,
the head,
Yeah, which
yeah.
didn't really make any sense. Why the fuck was he like a germaphobe as well?
The germaphobe. Oh yeah,
He was like a germaphobe, and it's like, what? This film makes no sense.
I don't know. At some point in Total Recall, a man has a man in his belly come out. Remember
Yeah,
that?
this is a
Weird.
mutant in
Fucking
Mars.
weird. Fucking weird.
Cool.
Films are weird, Sean. This is the point I'm making. Just roll with it.
it's
Mario,
two
it's
Italian
like-
plumbers who go to save a princess. Of course they do. Like,
exactly.
Like,
Go-
what-
You expect more?
I think we've actually completely overlooked one film here. Final Fantasy was not technically.
I
It wasn't
love.
live action, but
No, it wasn't.
No, but the
I loved that.
Spirits Within that had
Yeah.
a massive cast.
James Woods.
James Wood,
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland.
It had Alec Baldwin,
Alec
Ving Rhames,
Baldwin. Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi. This is like
I didn't know that.
This is like a stellar cast.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, as much as Alec Baldwin gets a lot of graft for being like terrible,
A twat,
he's
yeah.
an amazing voice actor.
He's got that deep, rumbly voice.
He does like Santa Claus, a Russian Santa Claus.
Yeah,
in Rise of the
that's quite
Guardians.
good.
I was like so impressed by that.
I just
Oh.
think it's
Were you
Fun
like
fact
riding
for-
high when he was cast as Boss Baby?
No, actually, I thought when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks,
Yeah,
looks
it looks
really
shit.
bad.
I think Final Fantasy was again, like you say, as much as it's not live action, I think it was a wicked adaptation. Like, I played the Final Fantasy games. They're one of the few games that I've actually played like start to finish properly and actually paid a lot of attention to. I
So
haven't-
we're obviously including the animated movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Back to Resident
I
Evil
was going to
then.
say, there's been like
which is most
there's
of
been,
it is.
there's been 3 animated movies, and they've been all right. They haven't been bad. Much better than the live action films.
Oh,
That's not really a struggle,
You
though,
just
is it?
opened up the park now because if you're talking
Yeah.
about like
That's what I mean.
animation and stuff, you've got the Zelda TV show, the Mario TV, all the TV shows in
Well,
like the 80s that came
TV
out.
shows.
No, no, I'm
Yeah.
talking- I'm
Yeah.
talking with
TV
films, yeah.
shows.
I think we can safely say, like,
Room of fun.
as a brief, unless anyone's got anything else major to add, I would say as a brief summary.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, we've
Mortal Kombat, yeah, fighting. That was one of the
Yeah.
fighting games that probably hit the best with
Yeah,
the
that
film.
was a lot closer to the mark.
I
than,
mean, it was
Super Mario.
complete. I mean, it was complete absent of gore and proper fatalities,
which is
but
what the game was all about.
I really enjoyed it. It's dated to
Yeah.
fuck. I'll admit, but
The second
Well,
one.
I think we
you
can
mean
safely say-
Goro and his paper mache arms.
I think we
That's dated.
the bad CGI with Reptile.
I think we can safely
Oh,
say
fucking
Silent Hill was well done because it kept to the atmosphere of the game. It was dark, it was twisted. Yes, the acting
Yeah.
was a bit piss poor, but otherwise
No,
it was
not
good.
all the way through. There was just a
there
couple
was
of
just-
moments.
Yeah,
Sean Bean's
dodgy
accent.
accents.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like
But,
Tomb Raider again, they put a big star in it, but they strayed too far away from the game. It kept to the source material and the principle of it, but it didn't really touch on the game at all.
And it ended really weird.
Resident Evil was so far off the mark it might as
It's
well not
it
been
was
a
just a
Resident
different
Evil
world,
film.
yeah.
Like they're like, oh yeah, Umbrella's in there somewhere. They threw the
Oh, hang
logo
on,
around a
here's
couple of
Wesker.
times and zombies, and then
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I think the one thing that they're all doing wrong is they're being directed by people that have no real interest in games
Well, the
properly.
And
thing
that's,
is-
that's what frightened me with Gears when Gears of War was announced to be
Oh, yeah.
made,
Yeah.
and one of the producers was saying, well, he started off his line with, "Well, I'm not a gamer, but,"
Fuck off.
and then it was just like, "No, just stop there and
just
I mean,
take
I
a
think,
seat, mate.
I think it's
Yeah.
still in active development, but I just, again, I'm not sold.
It's going to be the old Jeepers Creepers 3 scenario with that, I
Yeah.
think. Although that's apparently coming out now, so
Yeah.
go fuck myself, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that what they need to do is get the right people in regards to like the director and producer. They need to be avid gamers. They need to be
Yeah.
people that are
I don't think
like
they need to be
yourselves, like
avid
die
gamers.
hard.
I
Like,
just think
just,
they need to have an appreciation and knowledge of the game.
Well, you know about the,
not
the
just be
Metal
like,
Gear
oh, yeah,
Solid
looks good.
movie adaptation
Nothing.
forthcoming. Yeah, there's obviously a movie being made of the game. I think it's the actual first game, the Metal Gear Solid game, and Hideo Kojima's having conversations with the director, even though with the whole Konami kerfuffle. So that could be something. I don't know.
Bring it down
Maybe
to ground
keep an eye on
level. Is it still going to be Kurt Russell?
No, he was never going to be Kurt Russell.
He's just
Although-
mixing him up with Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
I thought they were getting off him. But...
Fun fact. They actually approached Kurt Russell to be Big Boss in Snake Eater.
Oh, there we go.
Literally, they.
There we go.
So there you go.
Sold.
But well, I think that about covers it. Unless anybody got something else they want to add.
Yeah, just briefly.
Yeah.
Hope for new game to movie adaptations.
It's pretty low.
But
You've got a non-gamer making Gears of War. You've got Resident Evil being
like I
rehashed.
said,
The new Tomb Raider's coming out in 2018.
Like I said in the last episode, Little Nightmares getting picked up for TV
Yeah,
show,
well,
so
that's
something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean,
so I've got hopes for that.
There's the Resident Evil reboot with James Wan, which it's a step in the right direction if you ask me. Obviously the Metal Gear Solid one. I'm cautiously
Halo
optimistic.
TV show still in development as well.
Oh, Until Dawn was it? Or
No, that was the little like kind of mini film they did. But there's still a TV show, Showtime. I think.
Oh right, no, I didn't know that.
Up. Yeah, that's still in development.
I would say,
Since
being the
2013.
heavy optimist that I am, that it can't get any worse than it already has.
That's just a pretty good way of looking at the history.
After the
Especially with,
bastardization of Resident Evil and
Yeah,
all
but
of
even
that.
the ones they're
can't.
doing now, like with the World of Warcraft film and everything, it's just not. Again, it was just boring.
Yeah, that pleased nobody.
Sorry, 400,000. 400 million, I think they got. World of Warcraft.
Well, that brought back in the box office.
Yeah, which is impressive. I think everyone was expecting
like Prince of
something.
Persia was like 300 million, but then the budget
Is that
for it was
international
fucking
as well?
huge,
Yeah.
right?
That was asking Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Thanks,
like-
Kingsley.
Is that international as well?
I think that's in dollars.
domestically.
I think that's just domestically in US. Okay, moving on. This is a segment we like to call Pulp Man.
Pulp Mash. Pulp Mash.
So, in this segment, what we're going to do is take an old, much-loved, well-known movie and replace one of the characters with an actor, a creature, another character from another movie, anything that takes our fancy, really. Well, this time we're going to focus on Jurassic Park. And as I pulled out of a hat earlier before we started recording this, replacing the T-Rex, Nicolas Cage.
I don't think we should just limit it to the T-Rex. Like every dinosaur.
all different kinds of cage characters.
So we could have each species of dinosaur is a Nick Cage incarnation from a different film. So we've got like the Rain Man or whatever it is.
Rain Man.
Not Rain Man. What's the one where he's a weatherman?
The Weatherman.
I think it was just called the
There you
Weatherman.
Sorted.
Yeah. See, I was on the right track.
So where would Ghost Rider? Where would Ghost Rider come into this? I think he's got to be in there somewhere.
He'd
It'd be the Velociraptor.
that'd be the
because he's on a
Velociraptor.
bike and he goes really fast.
Velociraptors.
Like when he's in Con Air, he'd have to be like the Triceratops or something, just laying on the floor like.
What about
He does look a bit like a
what about the compies?
Because he's a soppy character.
With Sam Neill just laying on his belly, listening to him breathe.
Someone's got to gift that or meme it or something. I want to see that.
One of my favourite bits, when they're in the tree after the accident in Jurassic Park, the two kids,
Cage's head comes up.
just the neck coming up like that.
He comes up. Put the body back in the box.
just Nick Cage trying to squeeze his head between branches. And
Boy, he's so desperate to be relevant. He's trying to get in on the conversation.
But then you have
I think he's trying to eat the kids. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You have to
isn't
question
the Brontosaurus a leaf eater?
you have to question it. Which character from which of his films would he be the T-Rex?
It's got to be a Bad Lieutenant. Just going crazy on it.
Or shouting at the kids. Could really work.
Just imagine like the scene where like they kind of look over the landscape and there's all those dinosaurs grazing. Just all these Nicolas Cages.
Looks up.
Wait. From what movie?
Every movie.
No,
It's a combination.
Oh,
Yeah, but
right,
it's all the dinosaurs, isn't it? So it'd be from
Different
all
breeds,
the movies.
different
It's like a
films.
Nicolas Cage Park. But you know the scene on the bridge where they're like, she's like, you hear the boom, boom, and the water's rumbling and everything. You see his little hand come over the fence. That'll be Nick Cage's little gammy hand. And then next thing, she looks around at the window, and Nick Cage's fucking massive head comes out.
Just breathing on the glass.
You see him like stomping the car. You can see it, can't you?
Even the bit where he gets the fat guy with the spitter, where like it fans out. He's like, "Hey man!"
That would be the guy from Face Off. That would 100% be the guy from Face Off, where he just looks up and he's like,
We need to make a collage of just these scenes and replace his name. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, him from Face Off. Sean.
We literally need a whole episode of just Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Because he could fuel a whole episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Nick Cage special.
He's in so much.
Nick Cage.
So much.
he is like the white Samuel Jackson, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like, he's in
definitely.
everything.
Yeah.
You could like have. Thing is, he just works so well. Like you could have Nick Cage in Jaws.
Would you do Nick Cage for the whole Jurassic World franchise? Because
what do you mean?
well, think about it. Like you've got like the Lost World where there's 2 T-Rexes. So would he be both T-Rexes?
Yeah.
And then you've got like Jurassic World, like the latest Jurassic World, where that massive new bred white dinosaur is like.
Yeah, that's him after Drive Angry. when he made his debut in that fucking classic movie.
I actually enjoyed that movie. Thank you very much.
Terrible, but so funny.
You could have all the little tiny dinosaurs, the little compies. They could be like Nick Cage from Knowing, looking really confused and perplexed. Twitching fucking heads.
Oh, man.
I think we just wrote ourselves a film, boys.
It's like with Lost World, where like the kid is doing her flips and everything, and then there's just these little Nick Cages like Velociraptors scuttling around like, "Hey, Bumblebee!"
Oh god. If you're gonna watch Wicker Man, it's only to watch Nick Cage get burned at the end.
Yeah.
I actually like that film, and I'm not sure why.
It was creepy. It was that kind of like
Nothing on,
Yeah, Nick
nothing
Cage
on
was
the old
on it.
classic though.
Yeah.
Thing
I
is,
lied,
if
yeah.
you're gonna have Nick Cage in Jurassic Park, I feel like Sean Connery should replace like David Attenborough or Richard Attenborough, which like
Richard
So you just
Yeah.
you take one old guy and replace him with another old
Exactly, yeah. But you can imagine
Nicolas
Sean Connery
Cage.
taking control of the situation a little bit better, can't you?
Well,
I mean, you
yeah.
wouldn't have a film. It would just be shut down in 10 minutes. You'd be like, right.
Yeah,
get
I
a cup
think
of tea.
I think Sean Connery is pretty efficient
Yeah.
dude. So yeah, he'd have health and safety over that.
I don't know. 'cause
Yeah.
he would have just like fucked off to his Caribbean island while screaming for Scottish nationalism.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, but this is a man who's gonna have resources in place. He's gonna have contingencies.
I just
He
want
was
to.
James
I just
Bond.
want to
He
hear
was
him
James
say
Bond for loads of
velociraptors.
films.
Yeah.
So-
Yes,
Yeah,
velociraptors. We bred
that'd be
velociraptors.
that does give it a certain kind of authority to it, doesn't it?
and they're all in cages. Nicholas Cage.
Oh man.
All right.
Limitless.
That could
Limitless.
That could actually be like the tagline for the film. Could it?
Oh man.
They let them out of the cage.
Oh god, we need to keep
Well,
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except we
That's,
can't because we stopped.
This is. Oh, what?
What's the Okay, so do we pick a second film now and a second character?
Yeah, we could do that. I still want to keep Nicolas Cage in it.
I think watch this space for a special edition
Nicolas Cage
Yeah,
episode.
podcast
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I would happily do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, I think that about wraps things up for this episode. So, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!